E3. That's right, it's 2018, and I'm here to talk about video games. This is the 5th year in a row on Entertainment Landfill. We like to talk about E3. E3 is that time of year that it's all about video games for 1 week, and it's so exciting no matter what system you own. A PlayStation, an Xbox, a Nintendo, a PC. You're going to learn about the new games coming in the coming year, and it's really exciting, especially when they reveal a game that you didn't even know existed till right then when you watch the trailer. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about that, but I'm not going to do that alone. This isn't a solo show. That'd be so depressing. No, I have here with me Emma! Hello, Emma!
Hi. Hello.
Emma, such a natural on the mic. It's so good to have you here, Emma. Do you remember E3 last year at all?
Yes, I do.
Remember, we talked about Zelda? Zelda hadn't even come out yet. Can you believe that?
No.
Mario hadn't come out yet. Can you believe that?
Yes.
We also have here Adam from the Bay Area. Hello, Adam.
Hi, how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic. It's so great to have you here, Adam.
Thanks for having me. Hi, Emma. How are you?
Hi, Adam.
Right on. So the E3 thing is like tradition now. It's like summer's just getting off to a start. You're watching video game stuff with Dad. I love listening to you guys, and I love hearing your guys' thoughts about it. And it's just become a tradition of mine now, too. That's why I was like, Jason, are you going to do an E3 show? Oh, can I be on it? If not, can I? I really invited myself quite rudely, actually.
No, I thought that was fantastic.
Cool, right on.
It's great to have you, and it's an exciting time of year. I love it. Like I told you that my tradition now is I love to watch the Easy Allies, watch the conferences, and watch their reactions and stuff. It's a lot of fun to do it that way. But Emma and I, when the PlayStation conference rolled around, I put it on the TV streaming over the Xbox, and we watched it with the lights off. So it was,
oh, wow, nice.
It's very nice. My wife watched it with us, and then I looked over, probably the second video game, she was like, I was like, it didn't hold her attention very long.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's okay. You know, it's not for everybody. That second trailer they showed was a little slow, you know.
Which one was that? The Ghost of Tsushima?
Tsushima, yeah. It looked really awesome, but we'll get to that later. First, I want to start, Adam. Basically, what's funny is the way E3 works now is it used to start on Sunday night with a conference, but now it's like Saturday. You can watch the EA, Electronic Arts thing, and it's okay if you guys didn't watch that. There wasn't much there to be excited about. Like, that's where they always talk about the FIFA soccer game.
Yeah.
They talk about the new Battlefield game. They talk about Star Wars Battlefront.
Nice.
But there were a cool few announcements. One of them, this was so weird. You know how they usually have a trailer, but instead the Andrea Renee, the games journalist, was in the audience, and she goes, I'm sitting here next to this guy, and he just happens to be working on a new game. And he goes, we don't have any footage for you today. We're not quite ready to show it to the world, but I guess I can tell you what it's called. And she's like, okay, what is it? And he goes, I'm working on a Star Wars game. And everyone's like, ooh. And he goes, yeah, it's called Jedi Fallen Order. And everyone's like, whoa. And he goes, yeah, it's about the dark times. It takes place after Revenge of the Sith, when they're hunting down all the Jedi in the galaxy. So you play a Jedi in the game. But like I said, we're not ready to show you any of the game. One day we will be done, and we will show you some stuff. And I'm like, what kind of cheap tease is this? The guy doesn't even have to show us anything? And I thought in the back of my head, they're going to spring it on us later.
Okay.
I picture
just kind of building it up or whatever.
Yeah, she's going to go, okay, everybody, that's it. Thank you. He goes, Andrea, excuse me. Oh, yeah, you're the guy with the Star Wars game. I've decided it would be really cruel not to show you guys anything, so here's a trailer. And we'd all be like, yay! But instead, no, nothing.
There was just nothing?
There was nothing.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
And the worst is you even see, like, on the different websites, new Star Wars game announced, Jedi Fallen Order, and here's what we know about it. It's like verbatim the one sentence the guy said.
That's great. That's kind of a bummer to not see anything.
The one cool thing I didn't know what this term was before I started watching Easy Allies is the term shadow drop. Do you know what that means, Adam?
No, I don't.
It means in the press conference they say, and this game is available right now. And everyone's like, what? Like, I can download this now?
Yeah, I love that. That's like, if they can keep it under wraps. I think like there may have been one game or something I heard of. Like, I don't know if it was either over the past E3 episodes that I was listening to you guys do, or if it was just something along the way. But I kept thinking that's the best way. If the people that are in charge of it can keep it a secret and then be able to reveal it and be like, it's available now, that I bet there's a huge rush of downloads and purchases that day. You know?
Yeah, you bet. Well, at this one, they showed Unravel 2. I don't know if you remember this game. It's the little yarn guy.
Yarny,
yeah. And they go, now Yarny has a little buddy, and he's a blue yarn guy, and they do co-op. You can play with a friend. And,
cool.
And they showed this cool little demo where you're trying to get away from a turkey who's trying to eat you. And they say, yes, we've worked very hard on Unravel 2. We love Yarny, and you can play this game right now. And everyone's like,
Shadow drop,
boom. So that was pretty cool.
Cool. Are you guys going to download that game? How much is it? What is it?
I think it's like $15.
That's not bad.
15 or
cool.
$19. It's under $20. Sea of Solitude was another game that was very interesting. They showed it's about somebody who's lost their humanity. They're so lonely that they become a monster. And it's very, like, visual, just kind of like you're living in a nightmare, and you're trying to get your humanity back. It looked like it's one of those indie games, but it looks like art as you're watching it. You know what I mean? Like it's a piece
those are
of
cool.
art.
Yeah, those are amazing. And I feel like there's more and more of that nowadays where you're just kind of, even if all you're doing is just barely kind of controlling the game through, but you're getting to enjoy, the craftsmanship of the games. It's kind of neat. And I feel like that's happening a lot more these days.
Yeah. That's cool. Especially whenever, like, I don't know, are you aware of the game Stardew Valley?
I've heard, I think Adam Sexton talk about it quite a bit, but
he's highly addicted to it.
Yeah, I hear it's addicting, but I've never even seen any gameplay or anything. Is it like high art or?
Well, it's like cute, like 8-bit farm simulator where you like run a farm, but there's a town and there's people that you can get to know. You can even get in relationships and get married, stuff like that.
That's crazy.
And Emma's been playing it on the Nintendo Switch. What do you think of the game, Emma?
I got caught in the farm loop.
The farm loop.
What does that mean? What's the farm loop?
Just playing it nonstop every day, every night. Your life turns into Stardew Valley.
You're checking on your crops, watering them?
Yes.
Is it Star Crack Valley?
You made this joke yesterday.
Adam didn't hear that
joke.
joke.
Put it on for the listeners, Emma. He's got to give that gold to the listeners.
Well, here's why I brought that game up. It was made by one guy. One person made that game. He worked on it for 5 years, obsessively. And that's what's cool about indie games is a game can be made by either a team of like 100 people or one person, and they're just as playable and beautiful and time consuming and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool.
Wow. Very cool.
The EA press conference, NBA stuff, Madden stuff,
FIFA, very boring.
Sports games. Oh, they did the most awkward thing in this, Adam. They had two of these guys. They're like, these are superstar mobile players who play games on their phones. Let's bring them out here. And they're like, whoa, what's up, yo? I'm DJ Snazzy or something. And they're like, wait, who? and they're going to sit down and they're going to play the new Command and Conquer game. So you see them, they're holding their phone and they're just going tap, tap,
Wow.
tap. And it was like, why are they doing this on a stage in front of a bunch of people? And they had play-by-play guys. Oh, did you see what he did there? That was very exciting. It's like, no, it's not. We're watching two guys play on their phones.
As I hear you explain it, it sounds like they were doing it to make a joke. Like they were doing it to be bad. But like, I guess they were actually trying to put it on. They're trying to put it over as something really neat, but it kind of came off lame, though, sounds like.
In my notes, it says Command and Conquer Mobile. My note was lame sauce.
Yeah, nice. Crazy.
But finally, the last game they covered was Anthem. And they previewed that last year at E3. And it's a game where you can play in like an Iron Man suit with your friends and fight monsters and get sweet loot. And it looks pretty cool. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like, I don't know if, Adam, are you aware of the game Destiny?
Yeah.
It's by the people who made Halo. And it's a game you can play every day with your friends and do sweet stuff. But the problem with that game, I've played Destiny and Destiny 2, is that you run out of storyline very quickly. Probably the first 2 days you play it, and you just start doing the same thing over and over again to get things, to buy more guns and loot and stuff. And basically the game is like a slot machine where you're just like, come on, baby, give me something good, give me something good. And it can be fun at first, but I'm the kind of person who I like very story-driven games. And if I'm not getting story, I lose interest really fast.
And I noticed that's kind of one thing that I noticed a lot with the games that they showed off in the showcases this year. They're all real big, sweeping, like storyline driven, epic, grand adventures, and they just like the high concept of it all. And I think those are the ones that get showcased, and those are the ones that deserve showcasing, because it's kind of silly to me to even show off FIFA. Like, I feel like you could just have a booth. They're like, oh, here's the new stuff we're doing.
Yeah, here's the new soccer game.
Yeah, because there's an audience for that, right? But it just doesn't show like these, like The Last of Us 2, where it was like, it's just like a big adventure, like an epic title or a summer blockbuster almost, I'm more into those games as well.
I have this hatred of FIFA because one time my Xbox 360 got hacked into.
I believe the term you used on a past show was, I call it FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA. Somebody stole my money, my Xbox credits. Now they use real money, but you used to have to buy Xbox points. They stole my points and bought FIFA stuff. Soccer stuff, and you could see it showed that the last game I played was FIFA, and I was like, I've never played FIFA in my life. What is this crap? It's because somebody got into my account and used my money to buy FIFA stuff. And now I have like double authentication and all that stuff, but back then I had a really simple, stupid password. My fault. I've gotten better at that kind of thing, but still, I'll never like FIFA ever. They can go to hell.
I think we played it when the Xbox 360 first came out, but none of us know how to play soccer, so it was just terrible because none of us knew how to score. And
it's
we
like
would
a
just
real soccer game. It's like 0-0 the entire game.
Talk about double authentication. I mean, like, it's super. That was so bad, but it's like it's very, very realistic. And I remember Ross came over and was watching us play it, and he's like, in soccer, there's an actual strategy. Like, you should probably have a strategy because none of us would ever score. We'd just be so frustrated.
That's awesome. Now, Adam, I told you don't bother with the Bethesda conference, but did you watch the Rage 2 trailer?
I did, man. That game looks cool. Very interesting.
It looks like a mixture between Doom and Mad Max.
That's exactly what I said, man. Exactly.
And it looks like a lot of fun. I think I really want to play that. The rest of the conference was about like other games I don't play, like Prey and stuff like that, and Fallout. I've never played any of those games, but there's certainly exciting announcements if you're into those games. But the Bethesda conference they didn't have a lot to show. It was almost like, why did you guys bother having a conference kind of a thing?
That's a bummer when it comes off like that, you know, because it's like, oh, they wasted so much time and effort to not really show off much, you know.
Yeah, the most exciting thing is that Andrew WK performed before it.
I had never heard of that guy until you text me about it, and I watched it this morning. That guy's amazing. Like, I love it. I love it so much. But those dorks in the audience were just like, they didn't know what to do.
It's funny because he's banging his head. He's like this awesome pumping show, and you just see a guy sitting there going, "What am I watching? What is?
When are they going to show me the games? Show us the games.
I just want to see the new Fallout. Get this guy off the stage, this headbanger."
I ended up listening to a couple of other songs of his because I liked it so much. I mean, I get it. It's sometimes you just wonder what they're doing in terms of putting on these E3 shows, because it's not like when they got into the game industry, they got into it to put on a big show for everybody. You know what I mean? And now that it's such an expected thing, you kind of feel bad for the people who are developing the games because they get up there and they put themselves out there. And, you know, it's awkward being up in front of people, you know, when you're like trying to get a message across and it doesn't go well. And there's so many working pieces to the lighting and to the production value of it. It's just like, man, I didn't get into this for this. I just want to make games and play games and just get paid to do it, you know, but now they're up there like showmen. And so sometimes it's like, it's kind of awkward. Like you could hear them a lot. I noticed on the Ubisoft press conference, I don't know if you picked up on it, but like there's like people speaking on their microphones before they're up there or after.
Yes,
it's so weird. It's so weird. But
there was one guy where the guy went off stage and he said something like, "We nailed it."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that was after the big Ubisoft game that looked really, really cool to me.
I'm glad nobody went to the restroom right after, like in The Naked Gun, when Frank Drebin goes to pee, and he's on the mic, and everybody can hear it.
That's hilarious. That's so like, great. That's awesome.
Well, Adam, did you watch the Xbox conference?
Yes, I did. What about you guys?
Heck yeah.
Yes.
We watched
Is that the one you watched in the dark that Heather fell asleep for?
No, that was the PlayStation.
Oh, PlayStation, okay.
That's the big one. Here's what's funny about the PlayStation one. Like, I own an Xbox, and I'm excited for Xbox, sure. But I get excited to the point where I have nervous stomach for PlayStation.
Whoa, that's cool. That's awesome.
Oh, my God. And here's one thing. Remember last year, Emma, when we kept having buffering?
Oh, yeah.
And it drove me nuts?
You get horribly frustrated.
I was like, dang it! You know, when it buffers because it's live. This year, no buffering at all.
That was
perfect.
Very thankful for that.
It could have been like we were watching it broadcast on television. Now, Xbox, they had so many games at this conference.
Gobs of them.
The first game they announced was Halo Infinite.
Very cool.
Which everyone loves Halo.
Yeah.
Here's one thing. It's a teaser. It's one of those teasers where like, this game will exist at one point.
Yeah.
But they're not like, we don't know if it's coming out next year, the year after that. Will it be on the Xbox 2 or, you know.
Or whatever it's going to be. Xbox, what were you calling it on? I think last year's show you kept saying it's called Bonks or something like that.
Xbox One X. Xbox.
So what would the 2 be? What would the next one be? Just
I guess the Xbox 2.
Xbox.
But that's one point. The Microsoft guy, Phil Spencer, he goes, "We're even working on the latest generation, future generations of consoles." And I'm like, wait, what? Like, why would I buy an Xbox One X now if you're working on another one, you know?
Yeah. Well, I thought he meant like the next generation. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like to think that he's thinking maybe PlayStation will announce a new console, so I better say we're working on one, kind of. But they probably have an idea of it, but they don't really have anything worked out on it.
Yeah, well, you know, I would assume they'd have to be developing it like a couple years before it comes out, and I think like the last lifespan of the last generation was about almost 10 years, maybe all the way up to 10 years.
Xbox 360 was around forever. It has the longest lifespan.
Yeah, because like the Nintendo 64 to the GameCube, like that generation, I think it was only 5 years, and I'm happy that the games are that the consoles are lasting longer. I think that's a good thing.
The reason is because the PS3 was kind of a dud. Sure, it had some great games on it and stuff like that, but Microsoft was in the lead during the 360's time. It was Xbox, PlayStation, and then Nintendo put out the Wii U, which certainly wasn't a big success.
No.
So Xbox was able to just keep the 360 out there forever, where it seemed like everybody owned a 360 eventually,
Right. Yeah. I'm glad. I just think that where we're at technology-wise, it's so tempting to just continue to jump and jump and jump, but it's not necessary because they're so well done, and the games are so big and so huge that you don't need to jump. You could lay out here and do a lot more on this canvas, as it were. You know what I mean? It can last a lot longer.
I would prefer they make the next generation like the Xbox One X, the Xbox One X2, but you can still play all the games on any Xbox, like the Xbox One, Xbox One X, and then the Xbox One X2, or whatever you want to call it. That's confusing as hell. But it's an increase in hardware, but they can still play the same software. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, cool. If you have a 4K TV and you want to play it in HDR, then you can get this kind of a thing. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Almost like making a movie available on different formats. You know what I mean? A 4K, Blu-ray, DVD. Same thing. That would be cool. Did you? What do you think about the Game Pass and the PlayStation
think that's a
Plus?
Great idea. I actually think because Sony has such a huge lead on everybody right now with the PS4. They're just dominating the market. Xbox creating their own, basically it's Netflix for games. You pay $15 a month, you can download whatever is on that Xbox.
100 titles right now, I think.
Yeah, and that's a lot to tide you over. Nobody can play 100 titles in a month.
Exactly.
So if you just didn't buy new games and you had that $15 a month to pay, you've got plenty of games to play. And they're even announcing this brand new game is available on our, what is it called again? Game what?
I think it's called Game Pass on the Xbox, and I think it's like PlayStation Plus for Sony. But I kept seeing that, and I'm kind of out of the loop, right? Like my son plays Fortnite. I watch him play that. That's pretty much as connected as I am to games anymore. And my buddy usually buys the newest Mario title or Nintendo game. But I kept saying, what is this? So I had to Google it. And I was like, that's interesting because it's almost like I noticed the Xbox One, I thought it was $9.99 a month, but it could be $15. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but they'll say this game will be available on Game Pass the day it releases, and people.
That's awesome.
Woo! It's like kind of like Blockbuster. Remember a new movie would come out, you go and it's all rented, but when it's digital, you can get it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I almost kind of feel like they're doing this to turn people into lifelong customers. And now it's a battle, you know what I mean? Like who's got the better deal? Because you're not going to go and get a PS4 if your monthly payments are locked in over here on the Xbox and you like the price better. And I think the PlayStation 1 is $20 a month, but there's 750 titles on that one, and there's PlayStation 1 games, 2, 3, and 4. I think it's PlayStation 1, but I know it goes back to PlayStation 2, which is kind of interesting also, so you can get your retro games too.
Right. Well,
but that's cool. I hadn't heard about that.
The second game Xbox showed was Ori. Do you remember that, Emma?
Yes.
What do you think, Emma? That seems like a game that's up your alley.
You're like this little creature in this forest, and it's so beautiful.
The first time they ever showed an Ori trailer, was it 2014? Was it the first year?
Like 2 years ago.
And I sobbed because the trailer made me cry.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and it's so menacing too, with these scary creatures and wolves. But it's essentially a platformer when you see the gameplay. It looks gorgeous. Right. Absolutely gorgeous.
That I wrote down reminds the little guy kind of reminds me of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, the little guy that glows.
Oh yeah,
and I love the music. The music is super, super. It just draws you in. It seems kind of like Disney-esque or something. And art is really great. Very good.
It looks great. There's giant spiders, and it's like huge storms, and oh man, it looks good.
It does. It looks cool.
Now the next game they showed was Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. And I gave this 5 stars.
Wow.
Do you guys remember this?
Yes.
It's like the dude's got like a robot arm, and he's like a samurai, and he's fighting these big giant guys, and he's going ting, and he's even got like a grappling hook that he shoots out. I was just
cool.
like sold. Like, this game looks so cool.
What was this called?
It's called Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Okay, because I put Sekiro: Shadows Don't Die.
Shadows don't die. Shadows
Well, yeah,
do
like the
not
guy
die.
can't die, right? Like there's in the commentator or whatever, it says something like you'll find death doesn't happen easily or something like that.
He gets killed, and then he lays down, and all of a sudden he's like, "Whoa!"
Back
and
up.
he rises back up, and the bad guy's already walking away, and he jumps up and like stabs him in the throat and goes, and blood just splatters everywhere. I was just like, sold.
There, you know, like the whole giant enemy crab. Remember that whole deal?
Giant enemy crab.
There's like a huge centipede, and I wrote down giant enemy ... centipede ?
Nice. When they show his like trick arm thing, I don't know. This is in the past, so it's not a cyborg arm. It looks like it's made of like metal and bones or something. I don't know, but it's so cool looking. Something can only exist in a video game, right?
Yeah, I was so impressed with all these games. Just the creativity and imagination is nuts. I'm like, man, I don't know where they're getting these ideas from, but it's very neat. They're coming up with stuff that just seems original to me. It doesn't seem, I mean, like it plays off of other things like the Rage 2, you know how you said Mad Max and Doom, but still they're creating these very interesting worlds, and this looks like one of them for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And then the next game they showed was Fallout 76, which I believe it's Fallout, you know, it's like post-nuclear war kind of game with mutants and stuff.
Yeah.
But they announced at the Bethesda conference is an open world game where you play with a bunch of people.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
They even said that you could actually gain access to a nuke in the game and use it on other players. Like you can build your own camp and stuff. If you get enough people to find codes in the game, you can put them all together, and it's launch codes for a nuclear missile.
Oh
and
my
god! Launch a nuke on them. And it was like,
That's
holy
crazy.
crap!
Wow. Hopefully there's refrigerators everywhere for like, you know, so you can protect yourself from it.
Nuke the fridge. You'd be totally safe inside that.
I know that's lame, but I had to say it. I just had to do it.
That lead refrigerator. Now, the next game they showed was Captain Spirit.
I think this game looks really cool. Very cool.
It does. It's basically where by the people who made Life is Strange. Emma, you know Life is Strange, correct?
I do know Life is Strange.
Have you ever heard of that game, Adam?
No, I haven't. What's it about?
Life is Strange is it's about a girl, and I believe she's in high school. She has powers where she can reverse time. So you're basically going about her life, and there's a serial killer, I believe. I didn't actually play it, but I watched some playthroughs of people, and you can actually help try to solve this crime, and you gain like you find clues and stuff like that. But if something bad happens, you can use your power to reverse it and try to change it and do something different.
Wow, what a cool concept. That's cool.
And they're very popular games. There's been Life is Strange 1 and 2. And then they talk about this game, Captain Spirit. It's this little boy who's using his imagination. He wants to be a superhero.
I love it.
And it looks so cool. It's just him and his father. And I'm wondering if this boy has imagination powers. Like maybe he can, whatever is in his imagination, he can bring it in the real world. I don't know. But the coolest thing they say is that this game will be absolutely free to download.
Why do you think they're doing that? How do they get away with doing that?
Some people think it's because it's going to tie into the next Life is Strange game, and it's kind of like to get you hooked. Like you play this free game and you're like, God, I love this. I'm going to go back and play the other Life is Strange games. I've never played this before. Or like when the new game comes out, like I'm going to definitely play that because maybe this boy is in there. Yeah, it's The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
What an interesting method to try to get people enticed, because it doesn't look like the type of game to have in-game content that you buy. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like that kind of model of a game, but who knows? Maybe you can get more, like maybe they can sell extra levels or something, or like you said, to tie it in as a giant advertisement. It's kind of cool. But I like the music in it, and I like the art, and this is the first one that I watched on the Microsoft conference where I was like, whoa, this is like, it just really captured my attention, like big time.
The next game they showed was Crackdown 3 with Terry Crews.
I loved it. He sounded like DMX the rapper. Remember that rapper that sang that y'all gonna make me lose my mind? He kind of sounded like Terry Crews doing an impersonation of DMX. It was funny.
What's funny is they announced Crackdown 3 a long time ago, years ago at E3.
I thought I heard that, like where the building, like they destroy a city block just to get one bad guy or something like that. It had kind of, nobody had heard about it for a long time, and then all of a sudden, and now Terry Crews is in the game. And he's actually in there. It's not just his voice. Like
you play as Terry Crews.
It's so cool.
And the game does look fun, but it's kind of thing like, I've been waiting a long time for this game. I'm not even sure if I care anymore, kind of thing.
How big is? I mean, I wonder what the holdup is. I mean, how big must the game be? How interesting must it be if it's taken that long to make? You know.
All I know is the first Crackdown game I played was really awesome. Open world, you get superpowers. You're basically a super cop with all these powers that you gain throughout the game. Super strength. When I got the power to pick up a bus, like a city bus, and throw it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I could see why, if you do that as Terry Crews, it's going to be fun.
Oh, heck yeah. There were spirit orbs or little things that you had to collect, kind of like hidden packages in Grand Theft Auto. You know, a cool story about Crackdown, the first one, is when I first started listening to podcasts, my buddy Jeff, he had just purchased an Xbox 360, and we found this podcast called Planet 360, and we would listen to it. And back then there was only so many games available because the system had just come out. And they talked about Crackdown a lot, and people were talking about gaining different powers to be able to reach new places and do different things to get the hidden items and stuff. And it holds a special place in my mind because it's when I first started listening to podcasts, which was a big deal for me. Like when I first realized that these exist. Yeah. And even though I wasn't gaming big time, I could still listen to people talk about video games, and that was one of them. And it's always seemed interesting. And then not too long ago, I could think they made it backwards compatible, or you could download it on Xbox Live or whatever. And my buddy's son was playing it, and I was like, oh, cool, because I had never actually seen anybody play it. So that's kind of cool. Sorry, that's a little bit of a distraction and a rabbit hole that I just took you down.
That's cool, though. I like that. There's a bit of nostalgia there with it.
Emma, what do you think? Are you going to play it?
Crackdown 3?
Yeah, is it your bag?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
Just blowing a lot of stuff up.
I love the collection aspect of it. Like, I loved finding hidden packages and stuff in other games. Like, I like that, and I don't know, the games are so huge now, I don't know how easy that it is to find all that stuff, but there's so many different aspects to some of those games, you can get into. But I noticed we're not doing the star system this year. Years past, you'd do like the 1-star means I could care less.
Emma, did you do the star system?
I did a number system.
Number system, okay. What did you
number it through? 1 through 5?
Yeah. What did you do?
It was like 1 through 5.
What's funny is I gave Shadows Die Twice 5 stars, and I gave another game 5 stars, but I didn't really do it on the rest of the games. Maybe when I wasn't in the mood to do it or something, or I was just doing it on games I really felt special about. Like, okay. What did you give Crackdown 3, Adam?
3 stars.
Cool.
Because it would be one that I don't have a ton of time to get into and dive. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, it's still interesting, and it just has a special place in my mind. So.
Like Nier Automata, that's been out on the PS4, but it's now coming out on the Xbox. I played the demo of it, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's a cool game. I would give that probably 3 stars. It's a really good game, though. I'm just interest level.
Yeah.
Metro Exodus is like this first-person shooter, kind of steampunk in the future, where you're on
Looks
a train.
really cool.
It looks
Yeah.
really cool.
Great.
I don't know if it's a game I would get the day it comes out or anything, but I definitely want to play it. How many stars would you give that, Adam?
I gave it 1. It didn't I mean, yes, it looks cool, but to me, it's not going to make me pick it up and play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what the funniest thing about the conference, when like Phil Spencer's standing in the aisle talking about the new game, there's people holding up their cell phones recording
So
it.
stupid. So dumb.
Like, dude,
I don't get it.
The conference, this is going to be on YouTube. You don't need to film this.
Emma, what would you have done? Emma, would you have held your phone up and taken a picture, or would you have made the mental note that I could just watch this on YouTube later?
I would have yelled at the people holding up the phone. It's like, you guys are idiots.
That's hilarious. You know what was terrible? We went to my dad's graduation in Dallas, and because I was so concerned at getting a video of him walking the stage, and the place was so big, I zoomed in on the screen because they had cameras, they had monitors there because the place was so huge. And so I zoomed in on it, and I videoed it, and I watched him walk the stage, and I watched it all through a little 3x5 iPhone, and it was very depressing to me afterwards because I didn't even realize that, I missed the moment in real life. I looked at it through my iPhone.
I had to make that decision a long time ago with Emma's school stuff. I would tell Heather, I go, I'd rather just watch it and experience it. We're never going to watch this video again. Let me just watch her perform or whatever.
And the bummer was my dad, the next day, I told my dad, man, I'm upset because I missed it. I watched it through the iPhone. And he's like, oh, it's a bummer because it's online now. The whole thing was video. I was like, man, what the heck? But yeah, I'm like that too. April is a huge picture taker. She loves taking pictures. She loves getting video of things. But I'm just like, no, man, I touch the phone enough. I just want to see what's going on with my own eyes,
Right. Now, Adam, I have a huge question for you because I know you love Disney stuff.
Okay.
How do you feel about Kingdom Hearts?
It's not my bag. I love the Disney thing. That's cool, and I love that it's been a cool relationship and hybrid between, because it's Final Fantasy characters, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I love that that's still going, and that they're making them, and it looks interesting, but I won't play it. You know what I mean? I won't be my thing. What about you
sure
guys?
They're in Toy Story World?
That is actually, that looks pretty cool.
There's
it does
Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph.
I know.
Frozen.
Don't get me wrong. That stuff looks awesome, and I'm sure if I got into it, I would enjoy it. But I don't. It's not realistic that I'll end up playing it. That's probably a better way of saying it. It's just not. But
it looks neat. I never understand what the hell's going on in any of the trailers. What is the story?
I'm with you too in that regard. I don't know what's happening, but it's very cool, and I love it. But
I love how all of a sudden they run in and there's Hercules. They're like, Hercules, and I'm like, wait, he's in this too?
Yeah.
What is he?
He was in the first one.
Have you guys ever played one?
I've seen reviews.
My nephew Severin, he loves the Kingdom Hearts games, but I've never actually played one.
Yeah, my younger cousin, he's 23 now, but when he was a little guy and I would be over at his house, he would be playing it, and I watched him, and I think that was on the PS2. And again, cool stuff, very neat, but but did you, hold on, I'm sorry, I need to bring this up. Did you happen to notice anything weird about the trailer, about the audio?
There's no sound, it's just music and voice acting.
It gives such a weird feeling off, when it's something jarring of it, and I wrote down that it reminds me of the Mummy trailer. Remember that one, Jason?
Yeah.
Where it was That's so it's weird, but I'm like, how do you bring this to E3 without any sound effects? It's weird, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
It was. I noticed that too.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure the game will be great, and obviously it's not ready yet. But I think they advertised this last year too.
They've been working on it a long time, but it's finally coming out in January.
Wow, okay. How long has it taken them to make these kinds of games nowadays? 2.5 years, 3 years?
Sometimes 5 years.
Holy shnikes.
There are so many Kingdom Hearts titles. There is like the first one, and there is like a bunch of off titles on like
Oh, okay.
now-
Game Boy.
At the Sony conference, they announced you can buy all of them like at once in a big box set.
Because the
That's cool.
story is so confusing.
Well, they announced a DLC for Sea of Thieves. I never played Sea of Thieves. I always thought it looked fun, but it actually launched this year, a couple of months ago, and people said there's not enough to do in it. You're pretty much, after a couple of days, you're like, okay, what else do I do?
That sucks because the art is. I love the style of it. I love the. I mean, I like rare games dating back to the Nintendo 64 days, and actually. On 2016, at the end of your guys' E3 show, you did a top 5 must own, and Sea of Thieves was number 2 on Emma's list. Did you ever end up playing it, Emma?
No, I didn't. I did see other people play it, and yeah, they said the same thing. Like, it's really fun until after a while, and then there's just nothing else to do.
I've heard it. If you can play with a bunch of friends, it's a blast.
Sounds like it would be. Yeah, for sure.
And this DLC is a good thing. They're announcing more content, so that's always a good thing.
I just don't. I think with this game personally, I wish they would have made just an adventure mode, like a campaign, and then if you wanted to join up with your buddies to do that. But because Rare used to be really good at like the cheesy jokes, and they had decent storylines and adventure games, I wish there was more of that aspect. That's what I thought it was going to be when I looked it up the other day, and I noticed it was out, but it was online. I'm like, I don't have room in my life to get that involved online now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's kind of a bummer. I wish it was just a mission by mission adventure. But
one of my favorite games by Rare in the back in the old NES days.
RC Pro-Am?
RC Pro-Am, baby.
Dude, it's so good. Such a great game.
And I didn't even know till just like a couple of weeks ago that they made an RC Pro-Am for the Genesis that had better graphics. Same game, but improved graphics. I had no idea, and I owned a Genesis.
Oh, you missed it, man. That sucks.
I would have played that game for days. What's my game? I'm so mad.
You know what? One of my favorite games in the at an actual arcade was the Off-Road, and then there was another one that had like 3 steering wheels, and it was a racing game. I loved those when I was little. I loved them.
Nice. Now, Adam, the next game they talked about was Battlefield 5, and they've introduced female players into the game.
Okay.
And some bro dudes, what do they call them? I don't know, douchebags.
Scum of the earth?
That sounds about right. Scum of the earth.
There's no women in war. This is dumb.
Oh, those type of guys. Well, you were referring to people kind of like toxic, like, I don't know, I guess toxic. You kept saying toxic fanboys on the solo when they were like, oh, why does this person have to be a girl? Let me just say something. About that, because when I was here, when you were mentioning that on the podcast, and people do that, and it's kind of silly that they do that, but sometimes, and you tell me how you guys feel about this, sometimes I feel like content creators are adding women to games or adding like homosexual stuff just so they can get a pat on the back. Am I off about that? Or like it seems ingenuine sometimes. Obviously, like one of the games has a male protagonist, or you can play as a female protagonist, and that's a great idea. Like, that's cool. But sometimes I feel like they might be trying too hard. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm the one.
There's a danger of pandering, but I think that inclusion has become something that's very important. You want everybody to be included. So if you're a girl who plays games, which we know there are a lot that do, and there might be girls who are gay or boys that are gay, they want to be included too in this stuff, and they want whatever character they play to be representative of them. Like, I can easily play a game where I'm a girl. It doesn't bother me.
Me too. Yeah,
but I can understand if I was like if I was a gay guy or something. This is kind of silly for me to say but I'm trying to see things through other people's eyes. Right. I could understand why, hey, I want to play a game with somebody that looks like me or acts like me or something. Yeah. I can understand that. And so I think that's a good thing. And like I said, when I was talking about Solo or Star Wars, the more that they put this stuff in there, or like, Rey is like a Jedi or whatever, and if that bothers somebody, they just have to get used to it, because other people want it to be represented in popular entertainment also. There was this great bit Kumail Nanjiani did at the Oscars where he said, I grew up watching a bunch of white people in movies. Now you guys have to watch me. Now it's my turn to tell a story. And
hilarious.
I actually feel that way. Like, I don't care if I play a game and I'm not some white guy. It doesn't bother me.
Right. It doesn't bother me at all.
I can understand what you mean. There's a fine line between giving people something that they want and also pandering to them. That can be a danger. But I think as long as they do it in a way that seems pretty genuine, that like in all these conferences, I didn't see anybody pandering. I didn't feel like that.
Right.
Which is a good thing.
Maybe it's more the way people react to it. What were you going to say, Emma?
I definitely feel that there are some people who do pander toward that sort of thing. Like, Legend of Korra, like the pairing at the very end of the show. Mm-hmm. I learned that it was just in the very final episode, so...
They might have been playing fan service for people who shipped two characters.
That seemed like pandering. This right here, like adding women, adding homosexual characters, is very mundane, but it's also very nice to actually see some diversity and like this just very mundane aspect of life, finally being something that it should be in.
Right. I think a lot of it is the way people react to it too. Cause like sometimes like I feel like when there used to be like women Jedi back in the day, it was Leia. You didn't see her wield a lightsaber, but we all knew that it was a deal, and no one was like, oh, that's great. Look, they made a woman a Jedi. Like it just was. No one was talking about it. And now I feel like everybody, they're like, oh, look at that. It's really good to see some more female protagonists. And I know there was a shortage of that, but the more people talk about it, I feel like I'm like, oh, just let them do whatever they want to do. Like, just create what you want to create. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. But
I feel it like also like being a white man, that I come from a position that not only maybe I don't understand everything, but it's my place to just sit back and let other people appreciate that. Like, why do I need to speak and go, wait, I don't understand this? It's like, dude, just shut up, okay? You've had your time. If these other people are being represented, it makes them happy. What does it bother me,
Well, a lot of people are idiots, and they speak up about stuff that it's just like, just shut up. Dude bro
is what I was trying to say. Like,
that's great.
Unfortunately, this time of where Twitter is this horrible vocal minority gets a lot, their voice gets pretty loud, but we can just ignore them. It's just...
Someone said that, like, in a city full of 1 million people, like, because some of these people on YouTube, right, like, they have 1 million subscribers, and if you just think about it like a city of people, there's bound to be some wackos in that city, right? Like, there's bound to be some weirdos. So obviously, you're gonna get like people on Twitter that are like throwing out all that gross stuff, and it's like, oh, geez, I don't want to hear about all that, but it happens, But anyways.
I'm not really, I say this every single E3. Forza Horizon looks incredible. Those games look so awesome. Yeah. Am I into racing games? Not really, but looks amazing. I even have a Forza game I got when I got my Xbox One, and I played it for a while. Looks gorgeous. I'm like, wow, this game is really fun. And I'm playing it. I'm like, but I'm really bored. I don't want to play this anymore.
And like, you usually spend a lot of time customizing your ride as opposed to just driving the car and doing.
You go to the garage and you're like, let me try these tires, and okay. But here's the thing: it kind of reminds me of when you first get an HD TV and you're like, I'm going to watch these nature shows. These are
exactly.
Oh wow, it makes the HD look so good. And then after a while, you're like, all right, I'm done. I'm just gonna. But. Don't get me wrong. This game, Forza Horizon, looks neat. Also, the seasons change where
that's cool.
You're driving in the snow. You're driving in autumn where there's leaves everywhere. Looks amazing.
Like the actual Forza commercials.
Yeah,
when they're driving into summer and then like winter is just following behind them.
But like if I had a 4K TV with an Xbox One X in HDR. Dude, this game, unbelievable. And I bet you it'd be the same thing. Wow, this is awesome. And I'm playing it. I'm like, but I'm really bored.
Yeah, there are, like, you know, there's a group of folks that love them, and I'm sure they're going to have a great time with it because it looks really neat. And I was impressed with the season changing. Like, I think they mentioned the lake would freeze over. That really just made me like,
you could drive on the ice.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
The next thing Xbox has said is they acquired a bunch of studios, which is really cool. They're showing that they need studios making games for Xbox only. Sony is killing them because Sony keeps coming out with games that are PlayStation exclusive. Like, I know just right off the tip of my tongue, there are games on PlayStation that are only coming to PlayStation that I want to buy, I need to buy, I have to buy. One of those being Spider-Man. And that's only on the PlayStation. So Xbox needs to get in the game and have some games. You know, they announced Halo, a new Halo, but they need more games that you can only play on Xbox.
Kind of a soft announcement. Yeah, I agree. And even the Halo game, like you said, it's just kind of like, oh, we're gonna do this at some point, but there's no hard release, and who knows how far along they are.
5 years, you're not gonna believe what you see.
we're gonna rock your socks off.
We Happy Few, that weird British game where you fight people in masks and stuff and take pills. Do you remember that?
I remember you guys talking about it, and that was top on Bill and Emma's list in 2016.
It looks amazing and disturbing. I don't know if I'd want to play this, to tell you the truth. It kind of creeps me out.
If I remember correctly, it was a survival game. Like, you're just running away and you're trying to, like,
it's a sneak game. You're sneaking around trying not to be seen a lot of ways and stuff.
Sounds intense.
I'm curious about the story and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, the visuals look incredible, but it's also creepy. And also, Microsoft, this is one of the studios Microsoft bought, the people making this game.
Oh, cool. Nice. When did that happen?
Buy you. I guess that's one of the announcements he makes. Like, we just purchased this studio. They work for us now.
Yeah, this game does look... I didn't see the trailer, and I missed it at the showcase. I don't know if I just wasn't paying good enough attention, but it looks very cool. I'm kind of browsing on my phone right now, looking at the images.
Do you like on the Xbox conference, Adam, when they'll say, exclusive?
I do like that. Yeah, that's cool.
Exclusive premiere. Then they did a PUBG thing, which
missed it.
It's player battlegrounds. You're dropped on the map and you battle people. I never got into that. Let me ask you this: your son, you said, was playing Fortnite.
Yeah. Have
you noticed any kind of charges on your credit card or anything?
It's funny. We were just talking about that the other day. He did his totals. I mean, he always asks, and then we check it. You know, he has cash and stuff, so we check, and then we just deposit it in the bank the next day. So he pays for most of it, but he spent about $150 so far.
Wow!
His buddy totaled it up. Check this out. His buddy totaled up $500.
Oh
$5
my
bills.
God!
Yeah,
I was listening to the radio. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk.
No, go ahead.
I was listening to a local radio in the car, radio station, and they were talking about Fortnite. I was like, why are these guys talking about Fortnite? They were like, yeah, so I see these charges. It's like $150. So I burst in the room. I'm like, who made this charge? And his son was like, she said it would be okay. She said you wouldn't mind. So I was like, well, yeah, I mind. And he goes, this Fortnite's killing me. My kids keep making purchases. And I just thought it was so funny.
Fortnite's going to get you in a debt.
And then I saw on YouTube, it's a new thing where kids post videos like, hey guys, watch this. I'm going to charge $100 on Fortnite on my dad's credit card.
Oh,
and
no,
then
that's
the
terrible.
dad bursts in. He goes, what? Did you just charge something on my credit card? I just got notified. And he's like laughing at the camera because he's filming it to put on YouTube to show people.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is hilarious.
They sound fake and they look fake, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's pretty, for lack of a better term, ballsy of those kids to do that. Like, that's nuts.
It's like, I'm going to break your game system, kid.
Emma, do you do that? Do you sneak charges on your parents' card?
I wouldn't know if I even tried.
I don't think she'd know how to.
That's good. Yeah, Lawrence doesn't do it. He always asks,
That's
and we
good.
always sweat him
Man.
about it. We're always like, what do you, how, okay, wait. Because, I want him obviously to learn up to know how to appreciate a dollar and how to not squander money. But the game's free, right? Like the game, they give you that game for free. It's provided hours of entertainment for him.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, they do a great job at making you want to buy this stuff. Like, I don't blame these kids for spending the money because
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they announced it on the Switch and it's free right now. I'm like, it's not free.
Cool.
It's
Yeah,
not
you're right.
free.
You're right. You can, but the cool thing is, most of the things you buy, they don't do anything for your performance in game.
Yeah,
They don't.
yeah, it's all appearances and stuff.
It just looks. But for some reason, like, you just want it. You know what I mean? I mean, Lawrence has bought a lot of stuff, and I mean, like, some people come over and they're like, "He spent what? Oh, nothing. That's nothing." But it's like, dude, to him, it's everything, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's a
Yeah.
big deal to him.
It's almost gotten like, you know how back in my day and age, like some kid had some new Nikes or
Yeah.
some new shirt, like OP shirt or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now it's like clothes in a video game.
So much better. But
So funny.
That's cool. I wanted to know if you guys have played that game. Like, Emma, I'm sure all the kids at school play it, but
Here's the
my
funny
gosh.
thing about Fortnite is that it was originally going to be a game where you built a fort to keep out zombies, waves of
Exactly.
zombies.
Yeah.
And they had it like in beta where you could play it, but then PUBG had this popular thing where it's a battle royale where you
Yeah.
drop people on a map and they all try to kill each other as the map shrinks. And they're like, "Hey, let's do that in our Fortnite engine." And they did, and it's become this huge thing. And the original
So
idea for their game
successful.
nobody even cares about zombies.
no one plays it. I'd like to see the statistics percentage wise, but it's got to be like 95-5. I mean, we bought the full game for Lawrence for Christmas thinking that he would enjoy it, and he kind of played it for a little bit, but it's all about that 100
What system
PvP.
does he play it on? Just on the computer?
This kid's nuts. He plays it on the Xbox One and the PS4. He bought himself a PS4 just so he could play with his cousin who lives in Alaska and
Nice.
another set of friends. And he just signed up for Twitch, and he's been streaming his stuff lately. And he's getting really good at it. But I watch him play, dude, and I feel like I can't play the game. I suck. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Like my response, I'm like,
I get
I'm just
nervous.
gonna hide here and snipe. I get nervous too.
Like,
but
my palms are sweating. Like, oh god, there's somebody who's trying to kill me.
it's like, the bummer is it takes long to get into the game. I mean, it doesn't take too long. It's incredible how well you can get into a game and everything. But it's like, you get it all loaded up, you land, you find some good stuff, and then someone just murks you and just kills you so fast. You're like, and that's the really disappointing part about it. And that's what makes me nervous, because like, I don't want to have to go through everything again.
I
You
can
know
see
what I mean?
how that would be a lot of fun playing with friends, but playing solo would be so sad for me. You know, like I could just see myself dying 20 times in a row. Like,
Yeah.
I just give up, man.
I've just got sick of hearing about Fortnite with all my friends. Like, you know how many times I've heard like, "Hey, hey, Fortnite session tonight," and they're like, "Yeah." I'm just like, "Oh my god."
What's so strange about it is how I saw Fortnite. We talk about it on one of the E3 shows. Like, ooh, Fortnite looks really cool.
Did we?
Because I said, Bill, I would love to play this with you. Like, you and I building a fort, and then the zombies come and us try to fight them off.
Right.
And then, do you remember that?
Yes,
Fortnite, that's
I
the way it was
remember
announced.
that.
And seeing Fortnite transform into this other thing and how popular it's become, where it's like in the zeitgeist, is
Yeah.
crazy.
It's so interesting. Very
And
interesting.
games like that, like the most I'll get is like Destiny, where there are other people playing a game and we're fighting NPC creatures or whatever. Like I used to play Battlefield a bit, where it's, you know, your team against another team,
Right.
and that was fun for a while. But I genuinely now in this day and age, I like to play video games for a story, a gripping story that, you know, tells me something or whatever. And so games like that, I can see, like, if I had a lot of spare time to play that, it might be a lot of fun. I might even get into it. I might even get good at it. But
Right.
I'm probably better off just playing a game, finishing a story, and moving on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I get it. I'd rather play a game, and even if I have to use a book because I just don't have the time to like figure it out, or I love that in the Uncharted games, for example, it's like, okay, you've been in the same area, we're going to give you a hint. I just want to experience it, and I want to finish it and be done with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, kind of like that's how I feel. Like I just need to finish a game.
Yeah.
Okay, so they talk about a couple of games here. Tales of Vesperia, this cool-looking RPG.
Yeah.
Not really my bag, but The Division 2 looks pretty interesting and depressing.
I actually got really interested in that because when they showed the trailer, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then when they showed the gameplay, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, cool. It looks gorgeous. But it's like, hey, you can help people starving in camps. It's like, this is depressing.
Oh, great.
That's cool.
What is your interest in The Division, Adam?
Dude, I'm so sorry. I missed it. I only have 2 more games for Microsoft written down. I don't know if I just missed a bunch or what. So I can't really speak much. Sorry.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I think, looks awesome. I've played the first 2 Tomb Raider games. Can't wait to play this one.
Nice.
Did you see the trailer for Session, the skateboarding game?
No, missed it.
I'm not really into skateboarding games, but I could see how that'd be fun.
Cool. Is it more like Skate, more like Tony Hawk, different?
It looks, I think a lot of people thought it was Tony Hawk at first, but then they were like, Session, what the hell is this? Devil May Cry 5.
No, wait, the Morphing Desert.
Black Desert.
What's that?
Is it called Black Desert?
Yeah, it's an RPG. Something I've never played.
Where did I get morphing from?
I don't
know. Maybe you just wrote that down as a note. Like, does someone morph in the game? Or
Now, Devil May Cry is one of those games that my sister Vanessa always loved, and they look insane. I've never played them, but they look really cool. Cuphead DLC. That game looks amazing. It's like that hand-drawn animation.
Love it. Yeah,
that looks
really
like something you'd like, Adam. Have you played it?
Yeah, I've never played it, but my son was watching YouTube videos a while back on it, and I was like really swept up in it, like by the animation and by the style. And it's just a huge throwback to like the early Disney days, but very cool.
It's kind of that evil animation. All the characters look evil in it.
Yeah, they do.
Now, there's another game that's called Tunic.
I screamed.
With a little fox.
Yeah. I screamed just because I saw a company that made one of, I think it is my favorite game. And when I saw it, I just thought it was really cute. And
it looks like Zelda, top-down Zelda, doesn't it?
Yeah, but with a cute little fox. Yeah.
What is your favorite game you're talking about that they made?
Night in the Woods.
Oh, nice. It's from the same company?
Yeah, or like
cool.
One of the same company.
So definitely Tunic is something you have your eyes on.
Yeah.
What about Jump Force? It's got all like Goku and Naruto and
that one guy from One Piece.
Yeah. Did you see that trailer, Adam?
No, I feel so silly. I missed out on all these. I'm very
upset. Like Goku, the Dragon Ball Z character with
Naruto. And it's like...
And it's a fighting game.
It's a fighting game. And then at the very end, they show Light from Death Note. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm out of the loop.
Okay, then they showed Dying Light 2, which is a parkour zombie game.
Whoa, cool.
Which looks pretty cool.
With choices.
It showed
What does that mean?
You can make different choices. Like, you can go meet these people, make a deal for water.
It affects your city.
You could choose to kill them. And it's like, oh, why would I do that? What a jerk I would be, right? And that I never played the first Dying Light, but it looks really cool.
It's interesting that it's a first-person parkour. You'd think you'd want to see, you know what I mean? You'd want to see your character doing all the cool moves.
Yeah,
but...
I would have to get used to that. It's kind of like Mirror's Edge. Remember that game? The parkour where you're this woman, but you're fighting zombies.
That's so cool. It looks great.
They made a really exciting announcement. A new Battletoads is in development.
No way. That's cool. I missed that.
They showed no footage of it. They basically said, this game exists. We're working on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Then they announced Just Cause 4, which I've never played any of those games, but they look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Then the new Gears of War 5 is in development. Plus they announced a Gears of War Funko Pop game.
Yeah, I noticed that. I wondered what that was about. Like, but they didn't say much about it, right? They just kind of showed a little bit of it
I
before
know
it came on.
some people hate Funko Pop.
What?
Yeah,
They're
I love
like-
it. I think it's great.
What's the hate?
Yeah, it's cutesy. Do you
well,
hate
it's
it,
like-
Jason? Are you the one? Are you the one that hates it?
No. I wish they had Chuck Funko Pops. I would collect them.
Oh, that would be cool.
I've just never liked anything enough to collect them. So,
Yeah.
Then the final trailer, which is the one I gave 5 stars to, Cyberpunk
Oh, yeah.
2077.
Oh yeah, looks amazing. Looks so good.
It looks like Grand Theft Auto, but in the future with like
Yeah.
flying cars and stuff. It looks
Right,
so awesome.
I have written down Blade Runner / Grand Theft Auto.
Yes, and you know what's funny is a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is for a future console. There's no way this is coming out with this generation." And they ask the company, and they're like, "No, this is for current systems."
Now, is this is not an exclusive, right? This is
No,
console
this is
side.
coming to PlayStation and
Okay.
Xbox, and probably PC too.
Yeah, I loved the intro. I liked like the DOS booting up and the command prompts and stuff.
Yes,
that was
it
kind
was
of a
so
neat
cool the way they
way
did-
of doing it.
They hacked the press conference. Now,
Yeah, that's cool.
do you want to skip ahead to Ubisoft now?
Well, I just wanted to mention like a few things about Cyberpunk that I noticed. Like, did you happen to see like the little doggy robot that was like popped up on a table? Did you pay attention to that?
Yes, I did see that.
That is based on a real robot that they're making. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's called Boston Dynamics. They're building robots, and you should just Google Boston Dynamics dog bot, and it'll kind of scare you a little bit. But I think it like just because it's like the future is now. These things are going to go into war and kill us all someday. But
Yeah, I think
But
I've seen that. Like it's trying
Oh,
to
you
open
have?
a door or something.
yeah. But there's some of them. They're just like hiking up a hill. It's like a little doggy looking robot. It's so weird. And then they'll kick it down and it'll get back up.
Yeah.
Really interesting. But
They look like they're alive.
yeah, and I like the guy's car was really, really cool. I like the guy's vehicle in that. And then
Oh, yeah.
the dashboard kind of reminded me of the DeLorean, like that amberish orange with green and red display on the dash. That was really, really cool.
Remember, he
And
has a cool like light up collar on his jacket.
oh, no, I didn't even catch that. I saw the gun. It looked like he put like a battery pack in his gun or something like that.
Yeah,
Looks
well,
really cool.
I freaked out. The lady, she's like doing her makeup, and then they show she has no jaw. She's like, it's all like
Creepy.
robot circuitry stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Very cool, man. I noticed that there's, I'm not saying that they're stealing ideas, but they're definitely gaining inspiration off of different movies and other stuff.
Oh yeah. You definitely see, Blade Runner, Fifth Element, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I noticed that people they had like plugs in their head too. So I'm very curious about what that is. And then I even read on a billboard it said "plug in now."
Yeah.
So I don't. There's like an AI or a virtual reality.
Everybody's they've got cybernetic implants, and I wonder if there's like the part of the main game you play that's one way, but then your character can actually go into like a cybernetic virtual reality, and then there's a different type of gameplay. How cool would that be?
That's what I'm interested. I'm very curious about that moving forward, and I'm anxious to see what lies ahead for that. That's really cool.
Now that's at Ubisoft. They showed that trailer for Beyond Good and Evil. It's all CGI.
Looked great.
It looks like a friggin' movie, doesn't it?
It does. The voice acting and everything was so great, and I'm immediately interested in the characters, and I'm curious to find out, what's going on with it. But like, just the cook and the lady working on the guy, so cool. Very cool.
This is another one of those. They're like, is this coming out on this generation of consoles, or is it future generation?
Yeah.
And did you notice they're like, in here we're going to see some gameplay, but the camera stays back from the screen where we can't see it very well.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't like zoom into the screen where we can see it. And I was like, this is really annoying. Are they doing this on purpose? Like, don't let them look too closely.
Maybe. But I noticed that in a lot of the Ubisoft at that conference, it seemed like they just had cameras on the monitor as opposed to a direct feed to the broadcast. I don't know if that was true for everyone, but it kind of did look like that for this game too. I'm not sure. And this is the one that when the people walked off the stage, the lady's like, "We nailed it.
Yes.
We nailed it."
Yeah, and it was just like, oh my
funny.
God, that was awkward.
What did you think of Joe Go Levitt showing up with the hitrecord.org with the collaborative art and the Space Monkey program? That's so interesting. I don't know.
That was cool.
It's so pioneering, man. Like new, different aspects of gaming. There's definitely room for it, and I'm excited to see. I mean, maybe it'll go over well. Maybe it'll be something that they just leave behind. I don't know, but it's a good idea.
I was wondering, like, maybe you do a drawing and it's like graffiti on a wall somewhere in the game or something.
Yeah, and then there was a billboard and it said "Your art here," so you could design something.
Yeah, and they were even saying like there would be a pirate radio station where people who submit music, you could hear your song on the pirate radio station.
I missed that. That's cool.
That would be amazing. It seems that's a neat idea. I like it.
Yeah. Emma, what's your takeaway from Beyond Good and Evil?
Oh, this thing looks just really cool, and I would actually like to play this.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, we don't really know what gameplay is going to be like, but...
Yeah, true. I know, but the storyline-wise, it's like, okay, this looks really cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and then, they talk about a Rainbow Siege game. Don't really care.
Yeah.
Then they show this cool... I've heard about these game Trials, where you're on a motorcycle and you're doing all these crazy things.
Yeah.
And they do this montage with all the cars, like all the motorcycle guys, like crashing and stuff. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Very neat. Not a huge, like not as showy as the other games that they're showing off, like in terms of adventure and everything. But I bet you that game will be addicting and fun for sure.
The funniest awkward thing is the guy comes on stage in like an Evil Knievel outfit. And he trips and like crashes into a that was all just so staged. It looks like foam board like glued together.
Velcroed together for fall apart action. Yeah, really silly. But I mean,
Adam, let me ask you, do you own a Switch yet? Do you guys
I want to so bad. What's the game? There's one of the games releases on October 5th or 2nd, and that's a few days before Charlie's birthday, and I really want to get it for her, but who knows where we'll be at financially at that point. But I would love to get her one. I want it so bad.
Like when you see Mario Rabbids, and now they're adding Donkey Kong, does that make you excited? Or does that look like your type of game?
I mean, it looks cool, but I've never played one, and I'm sure it would be fun to do. And it does, and it is one of those games that captures my attention for sure. But I don't know if I'll actually play it. But I bet it looks fun.
I did think it was cool. They had like a whole band come and play the Donkey Kong music.
That was cool. Very cool. I loved it.
Did you see that, Emma?
Yes.
I thought that was pretty. And there was that one lady. She's like wailing on the guitar.
Yeah.
I thought that was really sweet.
I have never, I haven't played any Donkey Kong games since Donkey Kong 64, but that was the first time I had heard that Donkey Kong music. I don't know if it dated back to like the ones on the Super Nintendo, but I love how like jazzed up it was, and there's a lot more instruments. It sounded really cool.
Yeah, I got Emma Tropical Freeze when she, like the week school ended, kind of like, congratulations for nailing the 8th grade. You did great.
Yeah, awesome. Promotion.
And what have you said about it so far, Emma? It's super hard.
Really hard. I can't get past first level, and I gave up.
Oh no! That's the thing about those Donkey Kong games. They were always notorious for being extremely difficult.
Yeah, why is it so hard?
Well, no.
It's like, don't you want little kids to enjoy this?
Come on, Emma. Please get past the first level and then come on back on the show and talk all about it, okay?
I'm
good.
Here with like just bags under my eyes. Like, I haven't seen the sun.
I'm on level 2. I can't get past that.
And you've
one
only
now.
made it to the second level. That's hilarious.
Now, Skull and Bones. It's a pirate game.
Yeah, looks good.
Looks pretty awesome. Shooting cannons and stuff. I love when they show the demo with, like, you call for help, and then you all sink the ship, and then you all kill each other trying to get the loot. That seemed like a lot of fun.
Very cool.
And what about
Transference?
Transference?
I was
Trippy,
really, really interested in that.
Elijah Wood walks on stage.
Very cool. Very cool. Looks different, out of the norm. Not sure if it's my bag to actually play, but I did give it 4 stars. Because it's so creative.
If I owned a VR thing, I don't want to play scary games with it.
I do.
Heck no, I'm having nightmares for weeks.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need scary stuff like right up in my face, you know?
Yeah.
I want to play games like that take place in like a beautiful land, a utopia or something. I don't know.
Me too.
So Starlink, this cool space game where you actually snap spaceships onto your controller.
That's crazy.
It looks awesome to me. I see a lot of people laughing about it, but I remember in the last E3 they had a thing, and I was like, what is this? That'd be so cool. But then, midway through the thing, they reveal, and I told you to watch that Easy Allies video.
Oh, they went nuts.
When it was like, that's Star Fox! And they're like, what? That's Star Fox!
That sound effect. Wasn't it just a sound effect the guy picked up?
Like, that's Star Fox! And then when he comes up, they're like, oh my god!
So cool.
And then Miyamoto is there in the audience, and they give him the cool Star Fox ship.
That was rad.
Wasn't that weird? And he goes, why don't you come backstage with me? He's like, oh, okay. And it's like, dude, you're being kidnapped.
I thought they were going to have him go back and play it and then show some live footage, but they never did. So I was like, okay, that was weird.
I don't think he's been seen since that conference.
Poor guy. Hopefully he's okay.
Abducted. You're not playing games, making games for us, buddy. No more. But I think that's cool that Ubisoft has a deal with Nintendo where they make games together.
Oh, dude, I'm excited. I think it's cool, and hopefully it leads to more things.
Yeah, I want other people to, and I love the idea because having third-party support is one thing, but having them like, hey, you can use our Nintendo licensed character in your game. Huge. Like, I would love them to do this, like Metroid. Like, can we use Samus and make one?
Yeah. Why not, man?
A lot of people are pissed that there was no Metroid at this E3, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
For Honor has some more stuff. Never played that game. The Crew 2, another racing game. But Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can play as a man or a woman.
That's cool. I like that.
And you could have you can have a relationship with a man or a woman, which I think is very cool. All inclusive. And you can kill whoever you want.
The most important aspect.
Yes. Now, I haven't played a lot of Assassin's Creed games. I played Black Flag, which I thought was a lot of fun. Never finished it. But this game looks genuinely fun. It takes place in Greek mythology, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they showed, they hinted at like a minotaur, like or something.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very cool. I love the huge statues, everywhere. It's so big and just very artistic and amazing looking.
I will say it's the only Assassin's Creed game that I'm actually interested in. This looks really interesting and cool, and I actually might want to play it.
Nice.
Good. Like I keep telling Emma, like, we need to get her a PS4, or I get a PS4 Pro, move the PS4 into her room. Something like that.
That's the way to go.
I like how it has bright colors. Like it finally got out of its emo phase and then it went into bright colors.
It's not like this kind of gray, dull, nasty feeling. You know what I mean? It just looks really cool right on the water in a lot of scenes, and it looks cool. Even the gameplay footage, there's just so much to see. It's very interesting.
Now, is there anything else you guys want to say about Ubisoft?
No, not that I can think of. I'm curious to see how going back to Starlink about the ship add-ons to the controller, and I don't know how that's going to work on the Switch. Maybe if you use one of just Pro controllers.
They showed there's a special when you buy the Star Fox pack, which I think they said was $75. So the game is probably $60 and then $15 extra. Not too bad. It comes with a little controller. You slide your little Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons
the Joy-Cons. Nice. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's cool. But I'm still interested just to see how that will work, having that apparatus on your controller. I don't know if people will get tired of that. I can see myself
dropping that, or like, I go to the bathroom, I set it down, I come back, and it's like smashed on the floor. Like, no, what happened?
Emma's in there dancing around again, not caring about what she tramples.
Or like, I see baby outside chewing on it. Like,
no. Your fox's head is all like in like several pieces. No.
Now, would you guys rather talk about Sony or Nintendo next?
I don't care. I'll do whatever.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about Sony, because then Nintendo is the next morning, so we'll be in the correct order. Now, first of all, it opened up with The Last of Us 2, and a lot of people are taken aback because after this, there was a long break while they reset.
Yeah, that was
very awkward.
Very silly.
It was like, okay, well, they're moving into a new auditorium, and it was like, wait, what?
Yeah, what? That's so odd.
But it was cool how you saw the decorations with the lights. And then when the trailer starts, or the
same thing,
they were, now I get it. They're in this place that's in the game.
It's like, that's why we're in this church.
Yeah.
And it was a church. That's right. I played The Last of Us more than once. I played it on the PS3 and then the PS4 because they did a remaster. Love the game. Love the characters. Fantastic game. Probably one of my favorite games of all time. It affected me that much. So now seeing this game coming out, it kind of rekindled a lot of feelings. One thing about the game is that the relationship between Joel and Ellie is very important, but also they live in such an ugly world with very brutal violence. And to see this trailer start, and they live in this world where, hey, they're happy, they're dancing, they're drinking. Hey, things have gotten a lot better. So I've seen some people go, wait, she's a lesbian now? What's going on? No, she always was. And if you play the whole game... Yeah, that's
kind of what I figured.
They played the whole game, you would know that.
That makes sense. She's a lesbian now?
But here's another thing. When they showed the kiss between them, I was reading an article how most video games cut away whenever people kiss because it's so hard to animate kisses.
Yeah.
And they worked really hard on that kiss. And it was like amazing how they pulled it off, because most games they're like, okay, it looks awkward when they kiss because the way we animate it, let's just cut away.
Pushing their faces together.
But in this, they like held on it because they worked so hard on it. And I love that she says that people would be terrified if they really, they would be scared of you. And I think she means one way because you're so awesome or something, but the camera revolves around her head and it shows that, no, because she's a cold-blooded killer.
Exactly.
And that whole demo was like pulse pounding, like amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So good. So good.
So freaking just, oh my God. I can't imagine playing that game. I'm going to have, my pits are going to be sweaty playing that game.
Palms and pits sweating.
And here's another thing about that game. Is that she's only fighting humans in that.
I noticed that, yeah.
In The Last of Us, there's parts in the game where you're fighting the weird mushroom guys, the clickers.
Yeah.
When you start to fight humans again, I'm like, oh, thank God, I don't want to fight any clickers right now because they're so freaking creepy. Or the infected, like they're kind of like rage virusy. And then they turn into clickers eventually, so you get different phases of people, so of the infected. So I'd rather fight those scary humans any day over the clickers, and we haven't even seen them. I can't imagine what they're going to be like.
Oh, they got to be in there, right? I mean, like obviously they can't leave those out. But
big time.
I was really impressed with. Like a few parts caught my attention when when Ellie gets thrown, like when she's finally noticed. And she like shoots a woman with a bow and arrow, and then a guy comes up to her and throws her against the car. Just the animation of how she reacts as her body hits the car, and she like uses her hand to push herself away from it.
Yeah,
that seamless interaction doesn't take you out of the experience. You know, it's really cool. And then
really
I know,
amazing.
yeah, and then another part when they're in like a little pharmacy or a little store, a person throws her over a countertop, and the way she goes rolling and everything, I'm just like, this is so cool. Like, the gameplay looks amazing, because on some of these trailers, right, they're showing off like really, really cool story and stuff, but that can't be how the game actually works. You know what I mean? But to see how it's going to work, but you still seem so, it just, the storytelling and the action is documented so well. Mm-hmm. It's very cool. And I love when she's hiding under the truck and the lady like creeps down and like finally spots her. It's just like, oh my gosh, that's so neat, man.
And it's so cool. Brutal when she shoots her in the face.
Right, the face. It's like, and then she gets drug out, and then the dude grabs her by her heel and drags her out from under the truck. Mm-hmm. It's just, and I noticed that the non-playable characters are speaking to each other by name, and they're like commenting on the action that Ellie is doing as the player does it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, oh my god, it looks so good.
Very good. And this is the first time that it's a Last of Us game is developed for this current console, because the last one was PS3, right? And then they just did the HD like renovation on it or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's exciting.
It is. And then they showed a samurai game called Ghosts of Tsushima, which again looked pretty freaking amazing.
Violent, very violent.
Yes, I love. There's the part where the first guy comes to him and he goes shing, just one move and the guy just drops dead. I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, can I do that to just every guy? Just keep my sword sheath until he gets right close to me, and then go like one. But that was quite an amazing demonstration. Like all of the leaves and the trees, the wind.
Dude, so nice.
And there's a part where he's fighting the woman at the end, and then there's arrows of flames coming over, and it's setting the place on fire. That was another one of those like, wait, is this generation console or next generation? I hope it's this generation, because I don't want to have to buy new stuff.
Well, I would think that they would. I would hope that they would say that. You know what I mean? They would tell you the future console, but
yeah, that's why when they show a game and then they show like December or January 2019, you're like, oh, okay, now we know when it's coming out. But a lot of those, like Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, it's like we have no idea when those games are coming out.
I know.
No idea what part of development. Now, the next trailer they showed was called Control, where this girl had this weird pulsing gun and everything's twirling around. And I immediately knew this was by the guys who did Quantum Break. As soon as I saw the actress, I was like, oh, this is Remedy's game, because I played Quantum Break and she was in Quantum Break. And I was just waiting for it. And when I saw this, I was like, okay, sold. I can't wait to play this. Because Quantum Break, it wasn't like a huge success, but I think it should have been, because it was a really good game. It was really neat. And that was an Xbox exclusive game. But this is now, they are making a PlayStation exclusive game.
Interesting. And is this the one that kind of looks like Inception, but she's like using Jedi Force to like throw things around and at people?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I thought it was called Twin Mirrors. Why is that?
Oh, that's a different... that is a game, but no, it wasn't this one.
Okay, my bad. All right, yeah. But this game, I gave it 4 stars, and I would love to play this one. And this is one of the ones where I was just like... Because I watched the Sony press conference first, and I'm like, baffled by people's creativity. I'm just like, geez, what are they smoking over there? Like, to come up with all this. They're just going crazy. It's so neat. Very cool.
And now, did you ever play Resident Evil?
The first one. Oh, Barry. That's pretty much the only one I ever played.
You're almost a Jill sandwich.
Wesker! That's what Ross would always say. Because I used to watch my dad play it because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't play it, too scary. And that was one of the games where, man, if you played it at night with all the lights off, it was like quite a scary experience. But I never played 2, and
I played 2 multiple times.
Okay, cool. What console did you play it on?
On the PS1.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Now, here's the thing. What do you think of the visuals on the remake, Resident Evil 2 remake?
So cool. It looks really neat.
It looks scary.
Yeah. It looks like they're going back to their horror roots. You know what I mean? It's like, it's creepy, man.
I mean, they just made Resident Evil 7, and this is made on the Resident Evil 7 engine.
Okay,
where
nice.
Everything's much more realistic than the game ever looked before. But man, it looks freaky, especially when the zombies just like outright like lurch forward and bite you on the neck and stuff.
Scary.
I do want to play this, but I want to play it daytime with all the lights on.
I don't blame you.
I will play this. I will play it at midnight. I will turn all the lights off. I will put my headphones in, and
whoa!
I'm just gonna surround myself.
You're going to play it with real zombies in the room.
I stay up until 7 a.m. anyway. This isn't hurting my sleep schedule.
I sound like a terrible parent right now, don't I?
No, it's not your fault.
It's like, it's summertime, Adam. We let her stay up if she wants to. So
my son stayed up all the way through the night the other night. I'm like, geez, dude, go to bed. Like, I woke up at 5. And he's still awake in his room, like watching YouTube videos of some guy playing Fortnite. I'm like, gee, man.
It's like, crazy. I'm studying the moves, Dad.
He does. He's such a dork, but he's awesome.
I'm a Fortnite master.
Okay, then they showed Trover. Trover saves the universe. Neat. I like the guy's like, hi, I'm bathtub guy. And then the TV falls in the thing and he gets electrocuted. Call 711.
Yeah, it's like, it's like the emergency phone number in this universe because this is like an alternate sci-fi universe.
It's made by the Rick and Morty guy.
Yeah, it's kind of platforming, it looks like, right? It looks kind of interesting to me. It looks cool. It did capture my, I'm like, okay.
I just like the guy who's like, hey, I'm bathtub guy. And he's just a guy in a bathtub. It's like, wow, how long did you come up to think of that name?
The purple guy, his eyeballs have eyes, which really weirded me out. I'm like, man, that's weird.
Apparently, that's 2 creatures in his head. Like,
cool, no way. Okay, yeah. That's creative.
I was reading more about it. Like, he is, like, carrying 2 creatures, and they're the eyes in his head. It's like, whatever. Weird. It's like, what kind of drugs did you do?
Yeah, for real. It looks like on a previous episode of your E3 specials, Emma said, this looks like a drug game.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You said that. And then your dad's like, it does. It does look like a drug game. Looks like the people on drugs when they came up with the idea or something like that.
When was this?
I think it was last year's. It was last.
Okay, that makes more sense.
You know what?
Like, you made that in 2014. I was like, I was 10.
We know it's funny.
Noticing drug references.
They showed another Kingdom Hearts trailer, but this one had Jack Sparrow in it and the Pirates game. Pirates stuff in it.
Right.
If I was into these games, I'd be excited.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I'm like, really, Captain Jack? Like, that was popular. I mean, I guess they just came out with a movie a few years back, but I'm like, you're using this
to sell it? We started making this game when the 3rd movie came out, okay?
I thought he's been in the game for a while. Is this new?
Yeah, this is new footage.
That's why I was so confused. I thought he's been in the game for forever.
And again, I can't tell what the hell is going on.
Neither can I.
But that leads us in.
Still weird in this one.
Not being able to tell what's going on kind of leads us into the next game, Adam.
Oh man!
And that is a game called Death Stranding.
5 stars.
5 stars. What do you think, Emma?
I want this game.
Made by Hideo Kojima, the guy who did Metal Gear, and it's got Daryl from The Walking Dead. What is going on in this game?
Good question. I am so intrigued. My imagination is captured. I bought the ticket. I'm ready. I'm ready to check it out.
The giant handprints in the mud, like, I'm like,
Creepy.
what is going on right now? Now, it
So
shows him traversing all this terrain with lots of packages and boxes.
What is going on? It looks wonderful. I love it. I love that they showed a lot of that because you're getting a glimpse of what it's going to be like to play it.
So is he a delivery guy?
He said something like that, right? Like, I deliver things, but I love how the boxes, he like has them all stacked up on his back like he's been going around collecting or something. And the part where he's walking between the two canyons or like between that canyon on that like metal scaffold piece looks so neat. Very interesting.
And there's at one point where he looks like he's carrying a dead body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very weird. Is he a spaceman? I mean, there's so many questions. Is he? What's he doing on this planet? The baby creeps me out. I mean, there's so many weird
He's got a little baby in a jar.
Fetus in a jar.
That's so odd.
Well, what about the part where he pulls his toenail off?
Oh, terrible.
I can just imagine everyone in that audience, you hear everybody going, oh! Yeah,
so
and
bad.
Hideo Kojima in the background, this pleases me. I made everybody's skin crawl.
The lady, like, I don't know what her involvement is. I don't know if she's a figment of his imagination.
Yeah, all of a sudden she's there.
Yeah, and she can't. She's giving him advice about the big dark floating creatures. Very interesting, man. I want to play it badly, and I love that they're putting actors in games. They're able to do it like never before. It's not just their voice acting; they actually look like the characters, and it's so neat. Very good.
I love that there's a part where it says, and Lindsay Wagner. And it's funny, a lot of people are like, who? But I knew exactly who that was. That's the Bionic Woman, because I watched that when I was a kid. And I remembered in the Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, there's a part where you do certain actions and you hear the bionic sound, that sound. So obviously Hideo Kojima is a huge Bionic Man, Bionic Woman fan. So he's like, I want the Bionic Woman in my game.
I didn't know that at all. I had no idea. So weird.
But like I said, Death Stranding, when it's over, I'm like, okay. Okay.
Can I say one of the main things I remember about this trailer, besides him gaining a baby fetus out of his back pocket to like help see weird shadow creatures, is I thought it was going to be over, but then they showed the woman again, and it's just her, and it's like a black background, and then she just eats a worm, and that goes on for like a few seconds, and that was like a really good moment in my life.
Yeah, is that a worm, or is it some kind of little creature, or like it looks like it has a face or something, like almost like a little larvae or something?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
But she's like...
And you just hear the sound, and I was like, oh, this is disgusting.
They're trying to unnerve us.
I wanted to tell you guys this. I wrote it down, actually. When Ellie and her girlfriend are kissing on The Last of Us, the mouth noises just gross me out so much. And then they're in this, like, the Sony was all about the mouth noise this year. It was like, I was just like, ugh, she's chewing, and it's so, like, it's just gross.
Sony is like in the lead or whatever in the best in sales, and it's obvious they want to put it on a good show, you know, but I almost thought maybe they thought too hard on it this year.
Yeah. I preferred Microsoft's just get right into the games. No, you know what I mean?
Once
Like,
this got started, I appreciate it, but the whole kind of like waiting between setups was a little silly.
And the really long music segments, those were cool, but they lasted a bit too long.
Yeah, that's true.
What can we say about Spider-Man except that it looks freaking awesome?
It does. It looks like the best one yet, for sure.
Are you a Spider-Man fan, Adam?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I like it.
So when you see that game, you're like, I need to play this?
You know, I don't know if I'll actually play it. It doesn't look like one that I would play, but
Would you like to watch Lawrence play it?
Exactly. Yeah, I would love to watch anybody play it, honestly. But I love that it's kind of bridging this gap between a beat 'em up game and one that has a good overarching like overall storyline. Let's say,
Yeah, that's a game that I'm playing it for the storyline. I'm playing for the swinging through the city kind of.
Oh man, so good! Looks great.
It looks like
good.
My type of game right there.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Emma? You like Spider-Man, don't you?
He's my favorite superhero, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm really excited for this. I think if I bought this and played it, I would be really bad at it. But
Me
I think
too.
you'd get better over time.
I don't think I'm good at beat 'em up games.
Well, here's the thing. When you say that, I've watched you play Zelda, and I try to get used to the funky inventory system and moving around and stuff. But I watch you, and it's second nature to you.
I'm just gonna say the differences between Zelda's an RPG and Spider-Man's like a weird beat 'em up.
It's an action RPG. It's not turn-based. It's you're running around as Link, and you're doing stuff. I think you could be good at Spider-Man.
I feel like if you could play Zelda.
I watched her beat Ganondorf.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Link beats Ganondorf? Spoiler alert, I haven't played it yet.
I'm sorry.
No.
Only if you beat the game, does he? But
Yeah.
also,
No,
Emma,
it
she
looks
got
cool.
to the end of Mario Odyssey, too.
Oh, nice. I'm so jealous.
That one's not hard
I
to
wanna
get
play.
through.
It
Yeah.
can be hard.
Well, you can get through the story in like one day. You can't get through the entire game in one day.
Yeah.
So there's the part where she's eating it. That's what I'm having for lunch, that larvae thing.
Going back to that, the 2016 episode, I can't believe that they even teased it back then. Hopefully they're getting closer to bringing it out. But Jason, you said that the stranding, you thought it may have something to do with the long, tentacle or strands attached to the dark floating creatures. And then Bill said, because you guys were rating things with stars, Bill said, I give it 5 floating bodies, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know what I would give that. I mean, I'm intrigued by it, but I don't know yet if it's a game that I want to buy the day it comes out.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Just to see.
I think so.
Like Spider-Man, that's day one. I'm sitting there playing it.
Okay.
Cancel everything. I want to play it. Now, do you guys want to get on to Nintendo?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, the Nintendo Direct. What did you guys think of this?
There's 25 minutes of Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That part was really lame, in
The
my
first
opinion.
part was Damon X Machina. It was like some kind of robot game, right when it started.
Yeah.
Okay, Xenoblade 2 DLC.
I don't play Xenoblade.
Okay, what do you guys think about this new Pokemon game where you can play it with a Pokeball controller?
Looks fun. It looks really cool. I mean, for the people that are into it, they're gonna eat it up, I think. And I've always wondered why they haven't made a 3D. It's not truly 3D like Odyssey is, but it's got updated graphics. It looks cool to me.
What do you think, Emma? You've never played a Pokemon game, right?
I've never been interested in Pokemon. I think that's just because they've always been on handheld consoles, but this is on the Switch, and this looks really cool, and I think I'll actually be interested in this.
Do you think
Yeah.
you might accidentally throw the controller at your TV and break it? Oh crap!
It may, and that might be a gimmicky thing, and you might feel way more at home and way more comfortable just playing with the Joy-Cons, but it's cool. It's really neat, and I don't see why they haven't done that earlier. You know what I mean? And I think the guy was saying that because of the Pokemon Go app and how you can kind of the movements you can use on that with the controller or with the way you use the phone, he thought that would be a cool add-on to the game. But I like that it ties in with Pokemon Go. We don't play that anymore, but I think it's going to bring new life to it and more reason to go out and get it because you can transfer them into the game. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And do you think those Pokeballs will be sold out everywhere and you won't be able to get one?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Good luck. Just as a collector's item alone, it's so neat,
I mean, yeah, it does look fun. If I was into Pokemon, I would be super excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to bring a lot of people that have never played it before into it. I've never been anxious to play a Pokemon game, but I'm curious to play this one for sure.
Now, Adam, are you a fan of the Mario Party games?
Yes, I love them.
So when you saw the Super Mario Party, were you like, yes?
5 stars. I love the title that they named it Super Mario Party because it reminds me of the older titles on the SNES. And the fact that they had 2 switches and they're setting up a mini game and they're adjusting the angles, dude, that is so neat. I'm like, okay, this is a good use of your tech, of your hardware. Like, this is a good idea. Who knows? Might be gimmicky, might be silly. I don't know, but it looks cool to me.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, how exactly. I guess we don't know anybody else with a Switch. You know, like, hey,
that's the hard part, right? You need 2 switches. That's the button.
Also, I picture this like, hey, dude, that's my screen. No, it's not. It's mine. It's like, no, that one's mine. Yours is that one with the scuff marks on it. No, it's not. It's like,
I engraved my initials on the battery pack on the back on the little thing that comes off.
Yeah, it's like, before you sit down, lay your screen down next to someone else's, write your name on the back.
Oh, yeah. I always
subscribe to Georgie's.
I always take the battery plate off. I don't think you can on that, but on the Xbox controllers, I take it off and then I write very small on the serial number, this little sticker. I write like H for Howard or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you would play that game Mario Party day one.
Yeah, totally. My one of my very close friends, he has a Switch, and he loves the Mario Party games too. His family, my family, we get together, we play them, and we have a blast with them. And this is where most of my gaming these days happens. I don't have, just with the pace of life that we're living over here, I don't have a lot of time to sit down in front of the game and go on these great adventures. So quick little pickup games of Mario Party.
The whole family.
Are perfect, yeah, and then a good time to get the families involved. And I have a lot of great memories. Before April and I were married, we played 3 Mario Party games on the GameCube, and I love them.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'll always play them. They're good.
Are you interested at all in Fire Emblem?
No, not really. What about you guys?
Do you know what Fire Emblem is?
No.
Apparently it's a game where you fight a whole bunch of troops at once or something.
You fight just a bunch of Pegasi.
Can I tell you the truth? When I saw that Fortnite shadow dropped, where they were like, you can play Fortnite right now, I was like...
That was cool.
I was like, oh no. Emma's going to play this.
I'm not going to play this. Are you kidding me?
I mean, have you played it, Jason, or have you only played PUBG? Or
I've only watched people play this on Twitch. I've never actually played it myself.
Okay, gotcha. It's cool. I think it's neat. I think it'd be cool to play it.
It looks great. Twitch. The graphics, I love the style graphics in the town and stuff.
Art is great. It reminds me of Zelda, honestly.
When I'm watching it, I'm like, couldn't they make it where you could just live in this town and you could decorate your own house? Like, I'm thinking that, but...
Give me an Easter egg hunt. Just give me an adventure and an Easter egg hunt where I can just traverse this world. And
but it's smash everything and kill everyone.
Have you seen guys do what they call a build battle in that game?
No.
Oh my gosh, I don't even understand. I can't even follow what's happening. But Lawrence builds as he fights guys to protect himself.
Oh yeah, it's better like where you prop up a wall and stairs when somebody's
insane, man.
Yeah,
and then there's just these awesome structures left. It looks like a sculpture or art when you step away from the battle and look at it afterward, if you're lucky enough to defeat the person you're fighting. It's
honestly,
just like,
it
whoa.
looks like the people who can build the fastest seem to live the longest.
It's a huge part. It's a huge part of the game for sure. But you know what I was kind of hoping that we would see is some special Mario or Nintendo style outfits. Like maybe give a Donkey Kong backpack, or like maybe give the old school Sledgehammer as one of the
off of that.
Oh, and just rake in the dough. And I'm surprised they didn't advertise.
That's a funny thing how Fortnite is free. Like, if they sold Fortnite, that's probably $60 right there. But it's free, and people are making purchases every day. They're making so much money from this game.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we would have paid $60 for the game, but we paid more than double that, 2.5 times that. Just in, little add-ons here and there. And it's smart. I mean, it's genius. Whoever is designing the outfits and the art style is just so neat. It's just like, I don't blame the kids for wanting to buy it. Not at all.
So, Adam, have you ever played the Overcooked game?
I've never played it, but this one looks cool. Looks like it's right in Nintendo's wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. It looks perfect for the Nintendo console. Have you guys played it?
I have.
Emma
What do you
has
think?
Overcooked for...
It's really fun. Playing it by yourself is nerve-wracking. Playing with another person is even more nerve-wracking.
Do you yell at the person you're playing with?
We just yell random things. It's like...
Sounds like a lot of fun. What is the what about it is nerve-wracking?
You just have to... Okay, so basically, you have to make all these dishes for different people. And you're timed on, like, this amount... And you have to get this certain amount, and it's really easy to mess something up. Like, he's like, oh, get a vegetable, chop up the vegetable, put the vegetable in a pot, take it out of the pot before it burns and causes a fire, serve it, get the plate, clean the plate, start over, and do all those things while doing those things again simultaneously, and you do other dishes, and you're timed, and it's nerve-wracking.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, so it's a high-pressure game.
The environment also plays a part in it. Like, the first level is like a normal kitchen, but then it starts getting into other things. Like, you're on 2 different cars, and, like, one of them has the stoves and one of them has the ingredients, and you have to hop between them. And then, like, another one slides around, and it's, like, on a ship, and, like, the environment changes, and so, like, suddenly you're cooking, and then suddenly you're, I'm with the plates. I guess I have to go get the plates. And
you can play up to 4 people, right? That's a good group game, Adam, actually.
Yeah.
4 people playing, and you're all yelling, get the meat, flip the meat, get the bread, get the
freaking lettuce, Stacy.
It's on fire.
Do you play together? Like, can you play co-op? Like, you're, like, you know, like 2 people working in the same kitchen towards the same goal? Or can you battle each other? Can you do both?
You worked towards the same goal. I don't know
if
you can battle. Yes, I think you can. I think you can battle.
But you always play co-op with another player, and you guys work toward the same goal.
Yes. You can also play single player, where you just, like, switch between 2 different characters, and it's not just you. But that just kind of goes slow.
I wrote down, looks fun for a crowd on a Friday night. I just want to order a pizza and invite myself over to my friend's house who has a Switch so I can play it.
They did a shadow drop also in this. Hollow Knight available today, they said. And Emma, we've been waiting for Hollow Knight to come to the Switch because it looked cool when it came to the PS4. And what do you think? You want to play that game?
Yeah.
Do you remember that one, Adam? Hollow Knight?
Yeah. Very neat art. I love it. Yeah,
it looks cool. Beautiful.
I like the color palette. Like, I like the way that there's, you know, I don't know, just the way that it kind of contrasts with, like, the background and everything, but there's only a few colors going on. I think, if my memory serves me correct, that's how the art style is, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Octopath Traveler. They announced a new demo for it. That comes out in July.
Really excited.
Yeah.
You definitely want to play that?
Yes.
What about you, Adam, with Japanese RPGs?
I mean, it looks like a time suck to me. You know what I mean? Again, like, if 15-year-old me, I would be there. You know what I mean? But now I just look at it and get sad because I don't have the time to put into it. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I thought of when I looked at it. But it does look really cool.
They showed a brief, they showed a montage of games that are coming.
Yeah.
The ones that caught my attention, I think Mario Tennis looks like a lot of fun.
Is that not...
Those are great.
Because it came up as soon as you started talking about those games?
No. Also, Captain Toad looks really cool.
Yeah.
I have that on the Wii U. I just bought it. So my buddy had it a long time ago, and I played a few levels of it, and I was like, this is cool. And then recently I thought it would be good for Charlie to play, so we've been playing it just on the gamepad, and it is a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. It's really cool. I just want to rebuild the levels with Lego. Like, that's how cute it is. It's just, I love it. It's very good.
Let me ask you this about Captain Toad.
Okay.
Is that a hat or his brain?
I always saw it as a hat. What do you think? Oh wait, no, he is a mushroom, right?
So that's part of his head, right?
Yeah, that's part of his anatomy.
If you were to pull it off of him, it would show his skull, and he'd be like, "Ah!" So.
Whoa, you're so dark. You just have such a dark sense of humor.
Sorry, just Death Stranding type stuff in my head.
What's going on with Pixark? Did you see that flash
Yeah,
by?
I was like, what is this?
What are they doing? Are you kidding me? Like, how much more of a ripoff can you be?
Yeah, it's like Minecraft and Pixar or something.
Yeah. What do you think, Emma? Did you see that?
It just looks like Minecraft, doesn't it?
I missed that. What is that?
It's just like a quick montage of stuff, and
they showed it real quick, but it looks.
One thing is called Ninjala. It looked like you're a bubblegum ninja
like
or something.
Except you're a ninja.
Yeah,
you're a bubblegum ninja.
Whatever that is.
FIFA, Ark, Wasteland, Director's Cut, Paladins, and then they show.
What about Crash, the Insane Trilogy? I can't believe they're porting that.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be very cool.
Oh, and you can play Fallout Shelter for free.
Dark Souls remastered.
That's cool.
I could see Emma playing Dark Souls. That'd be awesome.
You can?
It's like one of the hardest games ever, I've heard. Wolfenstein 2. That game is so hard.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a tough game. It's a really good game, but it's so hard. I gave up on it. Or I'm just talking about the first Wolfenstein. Mega Man 11 looks amazing.
Yeah, that's all
that's
going to be.
Tennis looks like so much fun. I'm watching the montage right now to remember.
Okay, cool.
And in a second here, they're going to show PixARK, I believe.
Yeah, look for it. It just looks like a smoother, less pixelated version. But it's kind of... I would think if you're going to create that game, you'd have to have something to show that sets it apart from Minecraft, because otherwise people are just going to go, okay, it looks like Minecraft, you know?
I know what you're talking about. I was just like, what is this Minecraft?
For a long time, Emma, Minecraft was your thing, but you're done with Minecraft now, aren't you?
I just got bored.
She was the Minecraft maniac. I think that's what you called her on the 2000s. Oh, the Minecraft master, and she said, don't call me that. And then
don't.
And then she told you to call her Tiny Girl Gamer. Do you still go by that?
Don't.
Do you know? Now Emma's
I had to about that a little bit.
Stardew Valley princess. No, I got nothing.
Why?
No, what would you say, Emma? You just like playing games?
Yes.
And you're not going to label yourself? So what did you guys think of the 40-minute demo of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate?
I mean... Does this game need advertisement? Does it need that much press? I kind of feel like you got nothing when you go into that.
Now, do you like Super Smash Brothers?
It's okay. I mean, I enjoy it. I don't like it as much as Mario Party or the Mario Kart games, you know, but they're fun. And again, it's good to get on the couch with folks.
They went out of the way to show you, like, all the people on the roster and, like... all of their abilities, and they even showed you that they brought Ridley from Metroid into it, and
it's the big
Daisy.
time.
I watched this after the fact, like after it was archived. I skipped the majority of Smash Brothers, but when it was live, I came in at like the tail end of all the Smash Brothers stuff, and
well, what's funny is I saw that, they say you can play as Daisy, you can play as Ridley. And I saw people on Twitter like, did you hear Daisy Ridley is in Smash Brothers? Like the actress.
That's hilarious. That's cool.
And, as Link, you can throw the bombs and...
Yeah, that's kind of neat. They really went into... I watched the Treehouse 2 a little bit, and I was like, man, they're just... I don't know.
What it felt like is like, guys, this is all we have, so let's just spend the rest of the time on this. And a lot of people are waiting for Animal Crossing announcement.
Yeah.
Emma, how do you feel about Animal Crossing? You want to play it on the Switch so bad, don't you? And they were waiting for Metroid 4, more to do with that. But apparently there's nothing to show right now.
Yeah, that's a bummer. It would have been nice if there was a bigger announcement. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I didn't really. What did you guys think of Nintendo overall?
There was, like, last year, we were looking forward to Zelda and Mario, so there was nothing really that big this year. The most excited I got was like, oh, you can download Hollow Knight right now, but really nothing.
I'm excited for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but that's just about it.
I think that's the biggest one. I mean, the Mario Party, it's like, I don't even know. All you have to do for me with Mario Party is just say, new Mario Party game coming out on this date. And it's like, okay, I'm going to buy it. And that's how most of these games are. Like, you don't need to show all that for Super Smash Brothers. You don't. You just need to say, hey, it's coming out. I mean, maybe the characters, I get it. New characters, everybody's going to be there. It's going to be awesome. But 40 minutes, that's unnecessary. You know what I mean?
Honestly, if I was to be excited about playing any game on the Switch, it would be Starlink and playing Star Fox with the controller, with the ship on the controller kind of thing.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest thing for Switch.
The Switch is in Emma's room. I could see her like walking in and go, Dad, what are you doing? It's like, I'm playing as Star Fox.
That would be, I think that's cool. I can see that big time.
Dad, get out.
Get out of my room, Dad.
I need to brood for like an hour.
God, you're so embarrassing. It's like, I'm going to have to get my own Switch, damn it.
Yeah, then you guys can play Mario Party and connect your tablets or whatever.
That's my controller. No, this is...
My controller.
We need to label all of these. But out of the whole E3, I thought it was a lot of fun. Cyberpunk is probably the one that made me like, whoa.
Yeah, big time.
Most. That was just kind of blew my mind. Like, one day I will play this. I mean, I already knew about Spider-Man, and I was already excited about that, hyped up for that. The Last of Us 2 trailer blew me away. But overall, I mean, I thought it was a fun E3. E3 is always a fun... It's a fun week, and I'm on the computer constantly watching the different videos because they do like interviews with video game people and stuff. I just love E3, and I had a fun time this year, and it's always sad when it's over.
Yeah. Video game Christmas is done.
Yeah. It's over.
I think I'm... Cyberpunk, I'm right there with you. Death Stranding, I'm very interested in, and The Last of Us 2. I need to finish the first Last of Us. I haven't even finished it yet.
You know what the funniest part of Death Stranding will be? When it comes out and people are playing it, and they're like, finally, I'll get to figure out what this game is about. And then they finish the game, and they're like, I have no idea what the hell I just played.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I still don't know what the hell's going on.
Weird, dark, angsty drug trip.
Yeah, for real. I want to explore. You know, watching the gameplay just is like, I want to go. I want to see what that world's about.
It looks like there's just a lot of walking around.
Yeah. Delivering
which
packages.
I'm okay with. You know, I'm all right with that. I love that sort of thing.
Will there be a part in the game where he's like, and sign right here?
I get it.
That's hilarious.
How would you like your dead body?
Should I just leave the dead body on the porch? Somebody could come and take it.
Should I leave it in your mailbox?
That's awesome.
That'd be great. And I'm excited to play a samurai in either Ghost of Tsushima or Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Both look awesome.
Yeah, those do look very cool.
So cool. Adam, thank you so much for joining us for the E3 special, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me. It was fun chit-chatting for a while, and it was fun doing... I haven't been up on my video games so much, only kind of what's going on in our house and to see everything, and watching those... what was the Allies? What were their names?
Easy Allies.
Easy Allies. Watching them, get so excited about games... It was fun it kind of put me in a good mood to watch all this stuff because you sent me the link to that first, and I got really excited to watch the actual Ubisoft press conference after that, and then it kind of made me more excited about like when I was watching Rage 2, I was getting really into it, and then when I was watching Cyberpunk, I was like, whoa, I was getting those kind of youthful feels, because when I was younger, I looked forward to so many video games, and now I'm like, oh, wait, that came out? Oh, well, another one came out? Wow, it's like you're just inundated, but it's like, okay, I'm getting into this now, so it was fun.
There was no sign of Red Dead Redemption 2 at E3, and that comes out in October.
I was kind of bummed about that, but do you need anything? Do you need anything more other than to know a new one's coming?
Sold.
Yeah, that's sold. Take my money. I'll be there.
I love Easy Allies because they're so genuine, and they're so passionate and excited about video games.
Yeah.
They're like little kids at Christmas, when they see something that they're excited about, and it's infectious. And I listen to multiple video game podcasts, and I'll like be watching them all day, and then I'll go, okay, let me listen to this podcast by these guys, and they're like, another drab E3, nothing exciting this year. It's like, yeah, it's really pathetic showing. And I'm like, wait, what? Is this from a different, dimension? What is going on? Because if you were to listen to Easy Allies and then these people, you would think like they're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. They're like, God, it's just like exhausting going to E3. And then, Easy Allies are like, yeah, I had this many appointments, and then let me tell you about these games that I got to play today. And they're just so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, I feel like people get jaded almost. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really excited about this game, but it let me down. So then they don't want to get excited about other games because they're afraid that it'll just be a letdown. So they kind of take on more of a negative attitude about things.
Yeah,
but the Easy Allies guys,
positivity.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, we're all blessed enough to live in a country where we're well off enough to sit down and play some games. Like, that's good. So to be excited about the ones that come out makes sense.
There will be times where they do complain and it's hilarious. Like the Command & Conquer mobile display on the stage where the two guys were competing. They were like, what are you guys doing? What is this?
That's funny.
But they're a lot of fun, so I always recommend watch Easy Ally stuff.
Yeah, thanks for the rec. I'll keep checking them out for sure.
Emma, thank you so much it's another year in the books. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Yes.
That's how time passes.
It's really hard to fool Emma or to impress her.
This is the fifth E3 show you guys have done. That's cool.
Yeah, and Emma, would you say you've played more video games this year than any year of your life?
Oh, definitely, because I haven't just been playing Minecraft over and over and over again.
Yeah, like, give Adam an example of the games you've played this year.
I play lots of indie games because Nintendo has lots of indie games.
Yeah, that's their strength, a lot of indie games.
Awesome.
I played my pretty much favorite game now, Night in the Woods, on the Switch, which has been out for a while. I've just never been able to play it. And when I finally got to play it, I just loved it so much, and I love that game a lot.
That's cool.
And, not to mention, you finished Zelda, finished Mario.
What does it feel like to finish a Zelda game? I think the first time I finished mine, I was like 25 years old or something like that. I grew up playing them, but never beat one. The first one I beat was the Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64.
Was it satisfying?
It was really satisfying. It's not the first Zelda game I played. I played Ocarina a
cool.
bit. But then it was really hard for my 10-year-old mind.
Yeah,
there's a learning curve, wouldn't you say, Adam?
Yeah, big time. It takes a while. I needed a guide. That's the only way I got through it. I'm sure I could have. Again, Lawrence was little when I finally beat it, and I just didn't have time to, challenge myself to do it all. So I would just, if I got stuck, I just looked it up, But it still felt like a great achievement to be able to see the story through and experience it all, for sure.
That's awesome. So hopefully this time next year we can get together again, Adam.
Heck yeah, I'm down.
And you can tell us how much money's been spent on Fortnite.
I'll catch you up on the running total at that point. I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail you wrapping up the show, but have you guys played Detroit Become Human? Because that was on the top of your list, Emma, in 2016.
I have asked for it. Adam, I have asked for that game for Father's Day, so we'll see tomorrow.
Okay, all right, nice. There we go. You have to send me a text and let me know what you get.
Nice.
Cool.
I will.
All right, thank you so much for having me on. It was fun. It was fun doing the show.
And Adam, happy Father's Day to you early.
Same to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Have a great weekend, buddy, and thank you so much for doing the show with us. It was awesome.
Anytime.
Anytime. You made me think of Predator just then.
I don't get the reference. Never saw it. Never saw the Predator movies.
All right, Adam. Say hi to the family, and you're awesome.
Okay, thank you, sir. You guys are awesome as well. And tell Heather I said hi and appreciate you guys being able to do this and inviting me on. It was cool.
Would you like to do the send-off like that I do at the end of each episode?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
So what are you guys waiting for?
Get out there, and I can't do it. I can try it. I'll just go for it. I'll give it like a 10 out of 10 energy wise, and if I fumble it, it'll just be funny.
Do it.
Okay. So what do you guys wait? Oh wait, let me kick it off better. This is Adam from the Bay Area. And what are you guys waiting for? Get out there and watch some film, television, and some pop culture, and play some video games.
Yeah! Bye, everybody. Bye.
I'm so awesome. Bye, everyone.
Now this is
Podcasting.